Right, which is you have no online yet. Yeah. So let's start remaining on factor term, right? I'm sure you look at it now, right? And think of it. All right, so we want to start firstly with remaining on factor theorem, right? And it's a real simple rule. Some of you all may have done it already. A real nice little simple rule. So I'll give it a theorem and then I will show you how to apply it, right? So it's remainder and factor theorem. Okay, so let's say I gave you a polynomial. Remember, I gave you the three types of polynomials, right? That we will look at, right? We have the linear. We have a linear polynomial, right? Where y is equal to mx plus c. Then we have a quadratic where y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. And we have a cubic. Y is equal to ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. Right? Those are the three equations I showed you. Over the past month and more, we've been focusing on the quadratic. So we did everything on the quadratic. Right? So we have the linear, we have the quadratic, and we have the cubic. There's one more, right? You may not really use this one as much, but this is called the quartic, right? Right? This one here is the quartic, right? That's when the highest power of x is 4. Okay, so we are looking either, what are you doing that? Right? So we are looking at something called the remainder and the factor theorem. Okay, so if I give you a function, f of x, right? If I give you a function, any one of these, right? And we divide f of x by some function ax plus b, right? If we divide this by this, then there's a theorem called the remainder theorem that says the remainder of this divided by this is f of minus b on e. How did I get minus b on e? All I have to do is take ax plus b and make it equal to 0. And make x is subject to the formula. So take this, make it equal to 0 and a solve for x. That value is what goes in here. All right? So real simple. If I ask it for what's the remainder of this divided by this, the remainder is just take this, make it equal to 0, and take that x value and put it to the function. Well, I'll give you a real small example, right? Right, I'll give you a real small example. So if I wanted to find the remainder when 3x squared minus 2x plus 1 is divided by x minus 1. So right, guess what? Right? This divided by this, and I want to know the remainder. All I have to do is to find f of what? What do I do? Take this, take x minus 1 later, make it equal to 0, and solve for x. So I'm going to take that value here, and I'm going to put it in this function here. That's okay? And that will give me the remainder. So if I find f of 1, I'll get 3 by 1 squared minus 2 by 1 plus 1. So that's 3 minus 2, which is 1 plus 1 is 0. That's enough? So to get the remainder, all I have to do is make this equal to 0, take that value, put it in here. And that's the remainder. So look at that. Yeah? But what does happen when the remainder is 0? What does that mean? What does that mean? Right. If the remainder is equal to 0, then ax plus b is a factor. Right? And it basically comes from this, right? If I divide 5 into 12, what would I get? 5 into 12 is what? 2, remainder 2. Remember that? Yeah. And if I had 5 into 10, 5 into 10 is what? 2 remainder 0. So if the remainder is 0, then 5 is a factor. Correct? Yep. All right, so that is the way to use the theorem and find the remainder. Look it up. I want to show you 2 other ways after. Copy it out. I want to show you 2 other ways to find the remainder. Yeah, ready? So I want to show you 2 other ways to get that same value, right? Method 2 is called look, method 2 is what we call, which we say marker using it. Method 2 is called long division. Right? I'm going to show you how to long divide and get that same thing. And method 3 children is it's called synthetic division. Right? A slightly easier way to get it, but if you never did before, it might look hard at first. All right. So watch this one here first. Long division, right? I am going to do this one over as an example. So I'm going to divide x minus 1 into 3x squared minus 2x plus 1. Right? So I'm doing this as an example, right? So here's how it is good. You're not dividing the minus 1 at all either. You divided x into 3x squared. That'll give you 3x. 3x by x, 3x squared, 3x by minus 1, minus 3x. And you're repeating that again. X into 3x squared, 3x, 3x by x, 3x by minus 1. So the minus 1 is only there for multiplication. That's okay? And then I'm going to draw a line and minus. Right? Just like primary school is, this minus this is 0. Minus 2 minus minus, that's a plus. Minus 2 plus 3 is 1x. And I'm bringing down the plus 1. Right? And I'm going again. X into 1x is 1. Right? 1 by x, 1x. One by minus 1 is minus 1. What did I add wrong here? Right? What did I tell me that? 1 plus 1 is 2. That's why you didn't see that? Because I realize now and again 0. 1 plus 1 minus a minus a plus. So that's 2. Right? So I made a mistake here. Remainder 2. Okay? But this rule still holds, right? This rule is connected to this. If the remainder is 0, then it's a. If the remainder is 0, then it's a factor, right? Right, so this rule is the rest of this node. Even if this is 2, it don't matter. This rule still holds. Follow trade long division, right? What you do again, Amari? X into this is this, and then you multiply. Then you what? When you finish multiplying, what you do? Minus. So you have to subtract here and here. And then you bring down the 1 on the outside. Then you go again, x into x, multiply this, and then subtract. So you're always multiplying and subtracting. Right? Okay with that? So I want to show you now how to do the same thing doing something called synthetic equation. Okay, copy it down. See how much real. Well, you know, it's good job. What that is. Right. Huh? What that is. Doing everything then. Hmm? Online, Serena, are you okay with us? Right, so this is the long division method. I'm going to show you a synthetic, so you could choose either one. Right? You could choose either one. And it might be a little bit new for some people, right? You don't get handle it, but this is I'm saying too easy. Too easier. Follow the game, what is it? What else? Huh? Alright, ready? Here's how it works, right? Here's how it works. Real simple, you know, deal with x and y. You join this upside down the division sign, right? make this equal to 0, and that's the value going here, right? X minus 1, make it equal to 0, and that's the value that goes here. Okay, then take the coefficients of each one of these. So the coefficients here is 3, coefficients here is -2, coefficients here is +1. That's okay? And all we're doing is multiplying and adding. Multiplying and adding. All right? So the first number, you'll leave that, you're bringing that here. And then 1 by 3 is, then we add -2 plus 3 is 1. Then we multiply. 1 by 1 is 1. Then we add. 1 plus 1 is. That's it. This here, this last part here, gives us our remainder. So our remainder is 2. And these two values here gives us our quotient. 3x plus 1. See that? Later on, let's explain to me again that. Okay. Bring in the 3 here, right? And then do it again, right? And the last one is the remainder. Okay? So this is called synthetic. This will give you the same thing that this will give you. All right? I know plenty of you all used to this, so you might not like this too much, but try it and see. You can have it up. Copy it down. Let's try one. Online, are you okay? Message your answers, right? Message your answers. Arissa. Ishish. You okay with this method 3 here? Huh? Instead of long division, you can do that synthetic. Anyone you like? Synthetic really? I recommend you one day go and write an exam. Yeah. Ready? Wait, I go into slow or I get time to go on the phone. I go into slow. There you go. Right. Let's try a square. Make sure you can do it properly. For this square, you're using all 3 methods. All 3 methods. Right? After this, then you can take your methods, right? Example 2. All 3 methods to find the remainder. Right? All 3 methods to find the remainder, and then I'm going to turn it into cubic. All 3 methods, find the remainder. And then pick which method you like, and then we stick with that method. Online, but when I finish the 3 methods, you can send a value. You can send your answers, right? All right, Megan? Marida? Everything online? It was 3. I do 3. Oh, do all 3. You don't like them, yeah? Yeah, do all 3. All 3 methods, huh? And all 3 should give it the same thing. Nathan, are you done with all 3? Take it over. Take it over. Hurry up. All 3 methods, because when you have to solve one thing, you'll need method 2 and 3. You done? You can let go. You done? Online, are we not some answers there? All 3? Do all 3? We're trying to pick it from now on. 1, 2, or 3. 1, yeah. 1. But you need to learn 2 or 3 because when you have to solve the cubic central. Amari, what are you going to put for? For what? Yeah, we can do that in your head. But you just send the value for the remainder, right? Just send the value for the remainder, that's it. Last minute again. Oh, by the way, whenever a question says to use theorem, that's method 1. If you don't specify, then well, you can use 2 or 3. I think about. All right, let's go. First one, make this equal to 0. So x is 2. So we find it f of 2. So that'll be 5 by 2 squared minus 4 by 2 minus 1. Using a calculator for this. Or will join the in our competition for timetables this weekend. Make sure all in it, right? Right, so that's 4 by 5, that's 20 minus 8 minus 1, which is 11. Right? Now you make sure you enter. I'm gonna put on your name now with the form 1s and 2s. Right. That's method 1. We're gonna long divide, we're gonna take x minus 2 and long divide into 5x squared minus 4x minus 1. X into 5x squared is 5x, 5x by x, 5x by minus 2. Right? This is 0, minus 4, minus a minus a plus, that'll be 6x, and they bring down the minus 1. X into 6x is plus 6, 6 by x, 6 by minus 2, minus minus, this will give you 11. Right? And 11 is the same, so we're good to go. And last method, synthetic. Take the coefficient, so you're taking the value and the sign in front. Plus 5, minus 4, minus 1. Bring down the 5. 5 by 2, 10. Add 2 by 6, 12. Add. Right? So same remainder. Okay. Now you can choose any method. One question again. Right? Anyone you want. Right? Serena didn't get answer. Arissa didn't get answer. Everybody else except Batiste, I did not get an answer. Please, can I have an answer? Megan. Again, I'm pulling the waiting room. Right? I would like the remainder. Right? I'd like the remainder and the quotient. I want the remainder and the quotient for this one here. I want the remainder. What? So I want these two things. Remainder and quotient. Okay? I want the remainder and the quotient for each one. So which method are you going to choose? You can't choose method 1. Right? So you have to choose 2 or 3. Oh yeah. Huh? Okay. Good answer. If you're getting quotient with method 1. Vishish. Very good. Answers, please. Very good. We are going to record this and just send to all the parents to the see a phone on the 10 times. Serena, you too. Oh, yeah. So I'm getting to make it. There is something. Huh? And online can is she there? Serena? I wish she send any answers, no, please. Huh? No.
Fixing them lights this weekend.
Huh?
Fixing them lights this weekend.
So, who's last week to come or by again?
Yeah, because I want to do it last night. We hard to see. They buy it easy, but they can't when they read things. And I had to put them in groups.
All right, ready? How much you all got? 16 for the remainder. What you got for the quotient? Okay, so let's see. So x plus 2 means what value goes on the outside? What goes on the outside here? Minus 2. Right? Make this equal to 0. Minus 2 goes outside here. And here, coefficients of x cubed, coefficients of x squared, coefficients of x constant. Right? And you recognize this much shorter, right? So bring down the minus 3, bring down the 3, minus 2 by 3 is minus 6. Add, I am getting minus 8. Minus 2 by minus 8 is 16. Add, right? I am getting 10. Minus 2 by 10, minus 20. Add, minus 16. So therefore, the remainder minus 16 and the quotient is 3x squared minus 8x plus 10. You all clear that? Very easy, right? Right, but of course, you still have to learn the long division and how to break up those things, right? Synthetic? Synthetic is good for almost everything. You probably all know. You probably have to learn technical, you know that. But it's also good to do long division. Okay, it's good to do long division because you just get a little practice with working with exponents and things. Right, but remember, as I say, he's correcting your papers, or he or she correcting your papers, right? So if you say that's what you want, make sure you can do it. All right, but you have to start to pack up. Huh? All right, but you still have to be able to do it. That's what I'll show you. Right, so now that we can do that, and we know to apply the theorem, we need to be able to solve, and then I'll put it together in some past papers, right? We need to be able to solve cubic equations. Right? So if I said solve this equal to 0, how do you solve a cubic? How do you solve a quadratic again? How do you solve a quadratic? Solve a quadratic. How do you solve this? If I said solve 3x squared minus 2x minus 1. Huh? Yeah, and that is general form. How do you solve it? Yeah, how you solve it? Factorize or use the formula. That works. How you solve this? Right? So in order to solve this, you use the formula, or you can factorize and work it out. Okay? Whatever they do, yeah. Huh? Didn't notice? Yeah, I know I'm gonna speech and let's not forget to I'm gonna put it over my answer. Oh. Right, are you okay with that? Now, how do we solve a cubic? Right? In order for us to solve a cubic, anybody recognize that when you divide a cubic by a linear, you get a quadratic? If you divide a cubic by a linear, you get a quadratic as your quotient, right? So if we could figure out something called a factor, long divide, and then solve this, we'll be able to solve a cubic. Huh? Yeah. And then solve that. So how do we solve a cubic? So to solve, let's say I ask you to solve a cubic, ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. If I ask you to solve something like this, right? Here's number one. Is find the first factor. Solve the first factor by something called trial and error. Right? Then take that first factor and long divide ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d, long divided by first factor. And third step, solve the quotient of t. Right? So once you can do those three things, you can solve any cubic. Right? Find the first factor, I'll show you how to get it. I'll show you two methods, an easy method and a slightly longer method. Long divide, then solve the quotient of t. Okay? That's the way you solve any quadratic. Sorry, any cubic.
Simple division. Second step.
Yeah. All right, so let's try one now. Nine o'clock. All right, so let's try that one then. 4x cubed minus 5x squared minus 7x plus, right? How is solving this? So in order to solve this, we had to get the first factor. I'll show you the long method and I'll show you the short method, right? The long method first is use something called trial and error. So we are going to put x values in here until we get equal to 0. Okay? So I'm going to put 1 in here first. That's 4 by 1, 5 by 1, 7 by 1 plus 2. Right? This is 4 minus 7 minus 1 minus 8 plus 2 is minus 6. So this is not equal to 0. Right? So therefore, this is not a solution. That makes sense, Nathan? Not a solution. So I'm going to try again. Let's try x is equal to minus 1. Okay? Let's plug minus 1 in there. 4 by minus 1 cubed, 5 by minus 1 squared, 7 by minus 1 plus 2. Right? So this is minus 4 plus 5. Sorry, minus 4 is minus 9 plus 9, 0. Therefore, x minus 1 is a solution. So it means that when I carry the minus 1 here, it means that x minus 1 is a factor. Right, that? So I went in reverse here. Took the minus 1, bring it here, and I got x plus 1 to be a factor. That's okay? So I went in reverse. You okay with that? Huh? Why kind of? And if I give you a factor, you can move the 1 plus 1 across the equal sign and get minus 1. Like why we did that in the beginning. Right? So I just do the reverse. If you find the solution, then carry it back and again factor. So once you have the factor, what is step number 2? So all this was step number 1, right? Step number 2, long divide. Right? But we don't like to long divide, we like synthetic. So minus 1. Right? And I'm bringing in everything here. 4 minus 5 minus 7 plus 2. Right? So, sorry. Let me show you the shorter way, right? If you have a calculator, go to equations, go to cubic, and solve it. Right? If you have a calculator. If you don't have it, well, do but in fact, don't worry, because most of them don't have it. But those who have a calculator that can do it, right? Go to mode, go to equations, and go to cubic. Right? And then plug in 4 minus 5 minus 7, 2. And press equal, and you will get these values here. And you got this? Right? But you can't just say x minus 1 is a solution. You have to do this. Right? You have to do it and show it equal to 0. You don't have to do this, but you have to do the one that will kill. All right? And when you do that, you are done with step 1. Step 2 now. Step 2 now, bring down the 4, minus 1 by 4. Add it, you'll get minus 9, minus 1 by minus 9, 10. Add it, minus 1 by 3, minus 3. Add it. That is wrong. What did I do? Supposed to get 0 here. Hope I'm right on the wrong thing, you know. That's not. Remember, let's check it one more time. Minus 1, so I'll bring down the 4, minus 1 by 4, add it here. Add it here, I get in minus 9. Here again, plus 9, add it, all right. Minus 9 is 2. Add, I guess. Right? I think I have 10 here the first time or something. That's okay? So this here is our remainder. This here is our quotient. So we ended up with 4x squared minus 9x plus 2. Right? This is called your quotient. Make it equal to 0, and then you solve this. Okay? It's done. Now you solve this again. Yeah, come on, I'll take it up. How you solve this again? No, sir. There's a quadratic. Use the formula, right? Or factorize if you can factorize, right? So hopefully you'll remember and you'll listen during the factorization class, right? Right? So you'll get x is 1/4, x is 2. When you factorize, make this equal to 0, make this equal to 0. X is 1/4, x is 2. So your final answers are x is -1, x is 1/4, and x is 2. So these are your three final answers. If you use a calculator, that's what you'll get. Okay? But you can't put this in the calculator and write it and think you're going to get marks. You'll get 0. Right? You have to show them these steps. Aidan, you remember how to solve this? Remember how to factorize? Sure. All right. Yeah, talking about this. So you can factorize and solve. Bring it into board. You want it done. Ethan, I'm very good. Thanks. Yeah. Look at it. Huh? Copy it down. That's fine. I know I go today, but it's too easy. Right, I give you this one and I will pass around and watch it, right? Huh? Right, Serena and Vishish, and again, no answers from you, Vishish. I can find this fair, what is this? The reader. Hurry, Amari, hurry up. What value works first? Positive one, negative one. Positive one work? Okay, so your first factor is what? X equals to, sorry, X what? So your first factor is X minus one. Nice. Something good. Oh yeah. We do the next few parts quickly. Right, so you have to show it all it. So just say X is one, right? Put X is one, you'll get one cubed minus 2 by 1, 5 by 1 plus 6 minus 1 minus 6 plus 6 is 0. Right? Therefore, carry across the plus 1 and you'll get X minus 1 is a factor. Oh yeah, finish all the rest. You don't know what zeros. You have 2 minutes. Oh yeah. Finish all the rest. Item is just 10 values. You're not supposed to get a remainder, right? You could type on message so fast on your phone or own message on my phone. That's fresh. I think no, no, the change of its coming. Well, that's okay, right? So, yes. Right, so okay, yeah. Right, how much Megan them typing? I wouldn't send one answer in the group. Ready? Like that? Can you solve the quadratic as well? All right, so all good to go. Right, so we go. Sorry. So you put one here, and you put 1 minus 2 minus 5, 6. Right, and then we work it out from here, right? So in order for us to work it out from here, we just bring down the 1. 1 by 1 is 1. Add 1 by minus 1. Add 1 by minus 6. Add, you get 0. So you get x squared minus x minus 6 equal to 0. You use the little factorization skills. X, 3, 2. This is minus, so this is minus and plus. So again, minus 3. Again, plus 3 minus 2 and 1. Those are your answers. Okay. Okay with that? Right, let me just message. Just message me grandmother there. Are you okay with that? But sometimes the questions are a little bit more challenging because they have plenty of words in it. Right? So I want to show you something. Oh, by the way, suppose instead of solving the question said to factorize x cubed minus 2x squared minus 5x plus 6. If this said to factorize, we know one factor. correct? And that's one factor. And where are the next two factors, Joshua? Where are the next two factors? We know that this is a factor. Where are the next two factors? Somewhere. Right? So the next two factors are x minus 3, x plus. Okay? So if they ask the factorize, do the same thing. But instead of writing three answers, three numerical values, you write three expressions. That's okay? So just make a little note, right? So you have to pay attention to what they are, solve or factorize.
Still, but x minus one is a factor, right? And then put the answer x is equal to 1. Right there.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, well, I jump a step, right? So I should already write the answer is 3 minus 2, x equal to 1. The first solution. Right? From this part, I only get two solutions. But I'm just being lazy and I'll just squeezing one. That's my fault. Right? The final answer is these two solutions plus the one from the beginning. Right? Yeah, I want all the phone to get taken on me. So I get do all the work. I see no difference. Can you realize? You realize just now. And the back of me and taking it. All okay with that? So let's try a worded problem. Worded problem slightly different, right? Slightly different. So let's try out one worded problem. So next week, all we're gonna do is the some worded problems, right? I'll give it them for homework if you want to do them before. We shift it Excel. Okay, may send any answers with two pass up. Did I send this document in the group? This one here. Yeah, then you could write it. So what you're gonna do for right for homework, do what you can do on this page. Right? On polynomials. Right? We'll try and do it all next. All right, let us try. You have much Gary time, man. Let's try 2014 number 1, right? I'm gonna try and prove 2014 number 1. Gosh, press again. All right, let's load it from. I want to get up save. I thought okay, but I use fight up a little bit. Yes, I saw on this chat. You see it? You see it? Right, when the expression 2x cubed plus ax squared minus 5x minus 2 is divided by this, what's the remainder? Find the remainder, sorry, find it. So the question changed a little bit, right? And then you right out there, yeah, so find E. Write this down, 2x cubed plus ax squared. Ready, write the question now. 2x cubed plus ax squared minus 5x minus 2 is divided by 2x minus 1. The remainder is minus 3.5. The remainder is minus 3.5. Right? The remainder is minus 3.5. Question says to find A. See if we can find A. It's a little different from what we've been doing so far, right? So let me see if we can put them together and move them. I need some else. Right, Arissa. Am I Arissa? The president on the group, please. So see if we can figure out what's it. Right, it's a little bit different. Finish? Finish? Yeah. It's a little bit different, right? They told you that this is divided by this and they give you the remainder. They want you to find it. How are we going to do that? So you might remember from the rule that f of something, right, gives you the remainder, correct? But then remember that data? F of something gives you the remainder. What's the remainder in this question? Minus 3.5. But what value do you have to put in the function to get minus 3.5? What value, Amari? What value do you have to put in here to get minus 3.5? Yeah, passing one check again, but stop messaging me. I'll do that more often before the course. Yeah, yes. What value, Amari? What value goes in there? We've been doing this all the time. What value goes in there to give you the remainder? This time you know what the remainder is, right? What value goes in there? Sure. See that? What value goes in there? 1/2. You have to take 2x minus 1, make it equal to 0, and solve for it. Ready done? Good. So how is that helpful later? How is that going to help me find it? How f of 1/2 equals to minus 3.5 going to help me find it? What are you going to do it then? Huh? Nathan, what are you going to do? Huh? Why not sell it? Kind of like make subject. But what okay, what are you doing before? What will happen if I have going to this equation here? If you put a half into that equation, what you'll get? 0.5? No. What do you get? Look at the theorem, we just with the theorem, look back at the rule. Look back at the rule at the beginning of the class. Where you get handy now? Check and see. If you put a half in there, and you get the remainder, and the remainder is how much? The remainder is minus 3.5. So if you use the theorem to multiply by a half u plus a by a half squared minus 5 by a half minus 2. If you plug in a half, you will get minus 3.5. Alright? So that's that you need theorem in reverse. Right? That you need theorem in reverse. Right? Or I didn't think like that, right? Question give you the answer, so you have to work backwards. Play the answer, play the half, and try to find it. Yes? Without pass. Might be a nice number, I'm not too sure. And without solve for A, I am just trying to so I can get it. History. Second thing again is 3. When you get in 3, no? I'm sorry, yeah. Second back and see, I just use what I have.
I'll check it.
Come, bring it up. Second and see, multiply everything by 4. Okay, I think again now. But it's 4 by 3.5. 14, right? Right. If you add up this under something, yeah, we did it. How you get on? So just multiply everything by 4. Check it. Check it back and see if you all get 3 now. You know what it is? Right there, go and see. Okay, check back. How will I get? 3. Right, so look at what I did, right? And I'm sure you all seen it too good there, but the problem is we have fractions to work with, right? When you work out this, again this, right? And you can just put it in the calculator, bring everything to the right and work this out. But what I did is I don't want to use the calculator, right? So I multiply everything by 4, and I got this line here. And then bring everything on the right side and work it out. Right, remember, fractions are a little bit more challenging to work with.
Yeah. Multiplication by 4.
So 4 by this. 4 by this is 1. 4 by this is 8. 4 by this. 2 into this 1. 2 into this 2. 2 by minus 5 is minus 7. Right? 4 by minus 2 minus 8. 4 by minus 3.5 minus 40. Okay. Okay, so we are get used to working with the fraction, right? Copy them fast. We have to kind of fit in one more Taylor. Yeah, Taylor say, so let me do one. I'll check it individually and I'll give you, right? Try one underneath it. This one here. Mishish, take a picture, you're working and send it to me, right? Mishish and Serena, take a picture and Batis, they take a shot. Batis, I know you're working. I trust the other. Okay, you got them stuff messages. Or I can read out. Keep going and get all of these phone things. He can spell phone. Stuff messages. Right, try that in blue there before you leave. If you don't want to do, I'll correct it and then you can leave. Well, come closer. I will tell you the phone. I'll tell you the phone. Factorize this completely. Right, and this will be there for you, right? Factorize that completely. X minus 2 is a factor, so they were good to you, and they gave you a factor. Oh yeah. For homework, you're doing the other questions on that handle. Okay, all. Right here then. For them, but one time like they can do that. So Serena, I like Serena. Serena's better where I am. So done. Oh yeah, someone. Amira, can you do this one? Why? It is just reading and realizing the same thing on the board. Just like number 2. Just like number 2 here, you know. Instead of writing your answers like this, you write your answers like that. That's all. And they already give you the first factor. X plus, X minus. Right, so just like what you have in code. Right, so you have to write something on the code. That would be I'm much talented. I'm much talented, right? Central part, they come up one by one. Right, but remember to factorize the whole thing, Arissa. Let's put the one on top. Huh? Then what? You have two on top. Watch back your first line. Am I there? Stop it, you think I'm trying to yourself now? Staying on any man booking and everything. Alright, online, right? Right,